Subtraction Middle School, welcome back. Our learning target today, I can perform operations with multi-digit decimals. What does that word operation mean? Yeah, you can add, subtract, multiply, or divide. That is what we're talking about when we're talking in math class about operations, the kind of things we do in math class. Multi-digit decimals, yeah, you have more than one number, and you have that decimal, that dot, somewhere in there. Our language target, I can explain how to add, subtract, multiply, and divide those multi-digit decimals. What kind of tables do you not need to learn in math class this year? Dinner tables. Okay. What kind of tool do you use in math class? Multipliers. Yeah, like pliers. Yeah, multipliers. Okay. Yeah, right. So here we go. So as we are performing operations with multi-digit numbers, the thing we need to be thinking about is place value. What does that word place value mean? Yeah, we're talking about the value of the place. So if I've got these two coins right here, I've got a penny or a dime. If I add them together, do I get 2? No, I don't get 2. Why not? Because they have a different place value. This is a 10 and this is a 1. So I add them together, I get 11, not 2. In the same way, we need to be careful to watch our place value so that we can do our math correct. Let's start off with addition. All right, so we're going to start off with addition. We've got 152.875. So 8 tenths, 7 hundredths, and 5 thousandths, plus 35.4. Now we need to add the same values to the same values. We have to look at that place value so we can line that up together. If I have 1 and I can add another 1, so I'm going to line up this 2 and this 5 together because those are the 1s. I'm going to line up this 5 and this 3 together because those are the 10s. I'm going to line up this 8 and this 4 together because those are the tenths. Everything else is going to be lined up with nothing else because it doesn't have something that it lines up with. So I get 188.275 when I add those numbers together. Really important that we line the decimal up. Let's move on. We're just going to move on right to subtraction. We have 352.37 minus 231.975. Now when I add, it doesn't matter what number I put on top or what number I put on together. 2 plus 4 is the same as 4 plus 2. It doesn't matter which order I go in. But when I subtract, it makes a complete difference, right? 4 minus 2 would be 2. But 2 minus 4 would be negative 2. So a completely different answer when I subtract. So I need to make sure that I do things in the right order. So I'm going to put the first number on top. And now I'm going to put the second number on the bottom. But I'm going to be very careful to line up those decimals. Line up those place values. So 200. Now I am going to subtract these, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to notice that I've got nothing above that 5. And I find when I'm subtracting, it's really important that I put a 0 on if it's subtracting from nothing, because it's just good to remind myself that the 0 is nothing. It's a placeholder for nothing, right? So 0 minus 5, I can't do that, so I'm going to make this a 6 and bring up a 1. Now I've got 10, 110, and 0. 10 minus 5 is 5. I can't subtract 16 minus 7, or 6 minus 7, so I'm going to I'm going to take 1 from the 300ths. I'm going to make that a 200ths. So, and bring my 1 over here. 16 minus 7 is 9. Again, I can't subtract 9 from 2. So I'm going to take 1 from the 2 1s, make that 1 1, and now I have 12. 12 minus 9 is 3. I'm going to bring my decimal down, and now I can do 1 minus 1 is 0, 5 minus 3 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. I get 120.395. What are we going to do next? Let's move on to some multiplication. Alright, when we're multiplying, we're going to see something like this. You might have an X in the middle. You might have a dot right in the center. That is another sign for multiplying. You might have parentheses around both, and that's also going to be a sign that you're multiplying both of these numbers. When we are multiplying, our place value is something we're going to bring in at the end. So we are going to move everything back. We've got two numbers after the decimal point right here. So we have two numbers after the decimal point here. And we have three numbers after the decimal point on this number. So when we are done, whatever we finish at the end, we are going to move that decimal back a total of 2 plus 3, so 5 spaces back. So we're going to move, so whatever answer we get, we are going to move that decimal back the same number of spaces we had with those two numbers. So it doesn't matter how we line those up, just like if I were to multiply 5 times 4.000. It doesn't matter where I multiply those. I get 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. And I get 20.000. It doesn't matter how I line that up. It's always going to be the same thing. So in the same way, I have to multiply these numbers together, and then I'm going to move the decimal place at the end to get my place value understanding. So 17.15 times 1.062. Again, I don't need to line those decimals up when I am multiplying numbers. So 5 times 2 is 10. 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. 7 times 2 is 14. And 1 times 2 is 2 plus 1 is 3. Now I'm going to bring my 0 because I'm going to multiply by 6 tens. 6 times 5 is 30. 1 times 6 is 6 plus 3 is 9. 7 times 6 is 42. 1 times 6 is 6 plus 4 is 10. Alright, now I've got a 0, so I'm just going to add all my zeros together. Now I'm going to multiply by one whole number here. So I'm going to bring in a 0, a 0, and a 0 to follow along. Now because I'm multiplying, I've got 3 zeros after this 1. And obviously when I multiply everything by 1, I get 5, 1, 7, 1. 1,751 and 15. So all those zeros are easy to do. We get a 3. 4 plus 9 is 13. 3 plus 2 is 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 5 plus 1 is 11. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 7 is 9. And 1. Now I have a big number, 1,921,330. Is that what am I done? No, that's right. Obviously, 1 times 17, I can just make a guess here. 1 times 17 is going to be close to 17. So obviously this number is completely wrong, except for what? That's right, I'm going to move that decimal back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places, and I get 19.2133 as my number. So I move that decimal back 5 places. Really important. We understand that place value understanding, and we can do that at the end by moving that decimal back the number of spaces that we had it there. What are we going to do next? Let's get to division. Alright, so we are going to do some division now. 3.825 divided by 0.25. Now I want you to think about when you are dividing numbers, the way we do that is we set that up first off. Our dividend goes inside the box and our divisor goes outside the box. We could do it this way. We could move all the decimals. It would be really, really hard. We can instead make an equivalent fraction, because 3.825 divided by 0.25 is the same thing as if I were to move those decimals over 2 places. So we get 382.5 divided by 25. These are the exact same things. They're equivalent fractions, because if I multiply times 100, then I get 0.25 times 100 is 25, and 3.825 times 100 is 382.5. So when I'm dividing, we can just erase that. When I'm dividing, I can move my decimal over the same number of spaces on the divisor as I move on the dividend. So I'm going to move my decimal on the divisor over 2 places, so I'm dividing by a whole number. And I'm going to move my decimal over on the dividend 2 spaces, so I am dividing by that whole number. It's easier to divide by 25 than it is to divide by 0.25. So now I can just show over here my multiples of 25. And 9 times 25 is 225. 25 goes into 38 one time. 1 times 25 is 25. And 38 minus 25 is 13. I'm going to bring down my 2. 25 goes into 132. I look over here and I see 5 times. 5 times 25 is 125. And 32 minus 25 is, well, 12 minus 5 is 7, and that's all I get. So is 7. I'm going to bring down my 5, and I'm going to show my decimal. If I've got a decimal here, I need to put the decimal up here. So 25 goes into 75. How many times? 3 times. 3 times 25 is 75. And there's my answer, 15.3. Our place value understanding is so important. Think about the place value. Think about what you were going to do in the situation. Make sure to take this slow on reveal. Take it piece by piece. Look at every single part. And then do your practice problems. I've done the even practice problems for you. You can check those. And then the odd ones you can do on your own. Be respectful, be responsible, and be safe, and I will see you in class.